Hello everybody! Welcome to the Three Musketeers phonetic class!
Do you want to sound more British? In this case, we will show you how to do it.
Semivowels. There are two semivowels or semiconsonants in English, the y sound and the w sound. They are called like this because they share characteristics of both vowels and consonants. They are always voiced and they are produced without any obstruction to the airflow, just like vowels. They contrast with vowels by being non-syllabic. In addition, they are usually shorter than vowels. For example, the words when, we, you, and ear can be pronounced with two syllables. The y sound or the palatal approximant. This is the y sound, like in the words you, year, use. The y sound is usually spelled with the letter y, but it can also be spelled with an I, as in view. Also, a very common construction, often called the long U sound, is spelled with just a letter U, as in the words during, computer, argue. There are some words that start with y, like yes, unit, yard, young. These are some words with the y sound in the middle. Community, billion, beyond, beautiful. English words don't normally end with the y sound. The w sound or labiovelar approximant. This is the like in words like what, work, quick. The W sound is usually spelled with the letter W or WH, as in where, but is also part of the letters Q and U, which is pronounced as in question. Also, in a few words, the W sound doesn't have any letters, like in the word one. There are some words that start with the W, like we, world, weather, wait. There are some words with a W sound in the middle, like away, towards, someone, require. English words don't normally end with a W sound, at least when they are written with the phonetic symbols. For example, in the words so, new, few, snow, and cow. In connected speech, we use linking vowels with semivowels. Linking ya. When a word ends in the sound I, E, A, oi, and the next word begins with a vowel, we can see it in the following sentences. I ate pizza. He always says that. Day after day. Boy and girl. Or adding a ya sound between vowels. For example, in the words idea, science. And finally, linking W. If one word finishes with an U sound like grow and you, and the next word begins with a vowel, then we put a W sound between these two words. For example, in the sentences, you always grew up. I can do it. 2 apples. We can also add a W sound between vowels. For example, the words heroic, fluent. Now let's talk about assimilation. There is an instance of assimilation when two bordering sounds turn into a different sound. It may occur within a word or a word boundary. We usually find the ya sound in the letter U and Y. There is an instance of assimilation case 3 when the rounded semivowel ya is preceded by an alveolar plosive sound, including fortis and lenis. Let's see the first case. When the fortis T is followed by the ya sound, turns into the ch sound. For example, in the word creatures. Creatures. Great. Or at word boundary, I'll beat you. I'll beat you. Great. Now, let's see the second case. When the lenis D is followed by the ya sound, turns into the affricate j sound. For example, could you pass me the salt, please? Could you? Great! Or in the word soldier. Soldier. Now, let's see the last case. When the S is followed by the ya sound, turns into the sh sound. For example, in the word ancient. Ancient. Or at word boundary, in the words Jashu. Jashu. Notice that the T is omitted. And that's all.
Liquids. A liquid is an approximant or consonant produced when the tongue approaches a point of articulation within the mouth but doesn't come close enough to obstruct or constrict the flow of air enough to create turbulence, as with fricatives. The flow of air is redirected around the tongue and toward the sides of the mouth before exiting through the lips. In English phonetics, there are two liquid consonants, the L and the R. There are voiced consonants. The clear lateral sound occurs before a vowel. It means it is a prevocalic consonant, like in the words clear, light, long. The dark lateral is always followed by any consonant sound, pause, or rounded W. It is usually transcribed with this symbol. Examples: pool, milk, full, always. Linking R. The first thing we need to know if we want to sound more British is to stop pronouncing the letter R everywhere. If there is a vowel and then an R, the R is silent in British, but not in American English. Look at these examples. Father, mother, there, clear. There is one big exception to this rule, and the exception is the linking R. We can say that there is an instance of linking R when a word ends in vowel sound followed by R, and the following word begins with a vowel. For example, fall in love, Prior's Water, Tower of London.
And what about nasal consonants? What are they? Nasal consonants. Nasal consonant sounds are made by blowing the air in the mouth and releasing the sound through the nose. There are only 3 English nasal consonants, and they are all voiced. Bilabial nasal M, dental alveolar nasal N, velar nasal N. Nasalization is the lowering of the balloons of palate to open the nasal cavity for the outflow of air. we can find the sound at the end of words. Going, going, lawn, lawn, king, king. In the middle of the word, English, English, finger, finger, jungle, jungle. We can also find it in words ending in NK or NC, like in the words think, thank, think. It is important to mention that this consonant never comes initially. Let's see the typical mistakes about the sound in the pronunciation of the word think. 1. Pronouncing final as ng or nk. It's not thing or think. It is thing. 2. Pronouncing final as n. It's not thing, it is thing. Now, we will talk about nasalized vowels. Nasalized vowels are vowels that become nasals because of the assimilation of a neighboring nasal sound. Nasalization of vowels typically occurs when the vowels immediately precedes or follows a nasal consonant, m, n, as in words such as man, now, and win. The nasalization is represented by a diacritic symbol, as you have seen previously. Now, let's talk about an instance of assimilation in case number 1, when the nasal N sound is followed by the nasal M sound. The result is that they are assimilated into the second sound. For example, in many cases, or my own. Finally, in assimilation case number 2, there is an instance of assimilation when the nasal N sound is followed by K and G. Examples: N plus K. In contrast, or pink. N plus G, ton, or morning glory.
Finally, we have prepared an activity for you. Are you ready? We hope you enjoy it. Bye bye.